Hi, this is Alex from devstories.eu. GitHub Actions, Episode 1 of 14. Most enterprise builds are treated as an afterthought in an entirely separate tool. You push code, a context switch happens, and you hope a webhook fires correctly on a remote server somewhere else. The enterprise case for GitHub Actions resolves this gap by moving your pipeline execution directly next to your source code. The standard misconception is treating GitHub Actions strictly as a CI/CD tool, as if it were just a modern replacement for Jenkins. Name it what it actually is. It is a flexible, event-driven automation engine deeply embedded into your repository. It responds to practically any state change within the version control platform. Look at a standard enterprise setup using tools like GCP Cloud Build or Azure DevOps. The source code lives in GitHub, but the execution happens elsewhere. This requires managing cross-platform service accounts, maintaining fragile webhooks, and synchronizing access controls across multiple vendors. When a pipeline fails, developers leave their repository, log into a separate cloud console, and dig through logs disconnected from their pull request. Proximity to code removes this friction. When your automation engine is built directly into the version control platform, you eliminate the integration tax. The user identity, the branch protection rules, and the context of the code change are natively understood by the compute instance running your pipeline. Consider a traditional pipeline in a separate cloud build tool. It typically listens for a code commit, pulls the source down, builds an artifact, and reports a simple pass or fail status back to the repository. Its entire worldview is limited to code compilation and deployment. A GitHub action operates on a much wider scale. Because it natively understands repository events, you can build a workflow that triggers the exact moment a pull request opens. In one seamless run, it can read the event payload, assign the right senior engineers as reviewers based on which specific files changed, execute a linter, and post any syntax failures directly as inline comments on the exact lines of code. The developer resolves the issues without ever leaving the pull request view. You automate the workflow itself, not just the build artifact. From an architectural standpoint, this shifts your repository from a passive storage volume into an active controller. You stop automating just your deployments and start automating your operational governance. If an issue is tagged with a critical label, an action can automatically provision a temporary testing database. If a security vulnerability is flagged by an automated dependency scan, an action can instantly open a tracking ticket, assign the security team, and ping your internal chat system. Everything uses the exact same underlying compute infrastructure. In a large organization, you can define these workflows centrally and share them across hundreds of repositories. If your security team updates the required container scanning policy, they update one central action. Every repository calling that action immediately inherits the new security requirement without individual product teams rewriting their pipeline scripts. This centralization provides massive leverage for platform engineering teams. Here is the key insight. Enterprise architecture consistently struggles with tool sprawl. Every new pipeline tool adds cognitive load, requires dedicated maintenance, and creates another surface area for security policies. By consolidating your execution layer directly into GitHub, you standardize how every repository behaves. The exact same infrastructure that deploys for production microservices also manages your repository maintenance. The ultimate architectural advantage of GitHub Actions is not that it has faster build agents or better caching. It is that it removes the boundary between the developer workflow and the continuous integration system. If you find these episodes useful and want to support the show, you can search for Dev Stories EU on Patreon. Thanks for listening. Happy coding, everyone!